Stop slurping over the music, you animal.
Slurping over my noodles.
Happy? You can have one more. That's it. Sam O'Reilly with a Fight Talk podcast. It is Richie Gray's birthday. Happy birthday. No, that's enough.
I was about to do that.
You can't sing to yourself. Get a grip.
I've got no mates to sing to.
Stevie just sung to you. Stevie Wonder just sung to you. That'll do. Yeah, Sam O'Reilly with a Fight Talk podcast. Myself and Richie Gray on his 29th birthday.
29, baby.
29. Don't look a day over 30, you mate. You do. Yeah, we're at your house today. This is going to be regular. I think we're going to do my house, your house, my house,
Mix it up.
and we're going to have the guest at my house. Yeah, I think that's the way to work it. What do you reckon?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So we got some good guests booked in actually. You know, I'm not going to say any names just yet because we're going to get final confirmations. But I said last time I wanted to get some good people, some different people that we haven't had, and a couple of them booked up. So yeah, and then a couple of old familiar faces that we all know and love. They'll be back in the next couple of months. But yeah, we've got some good shit coming up.
I watched boxing this weekend.
You have been very good. I'm very proud of you.
Sent me homework. I woke up, so I watched some of it last night.
I'm super proud of you, to be honest.
Wait, I woke up something about 7 o'clock.
The only boxing you didn't watch is what weren't televised.
No, I watched some of that as well.
You watched some of that on Instagram.
I've seen Linus. I've seen Adrian.
Fucking hell.
I've seen something else.
This is unreal. Honestly, it's like you're on a podcast. The amount of boxing you've watched.
I should be part of a podcast.
You should, yeah.
No, mate. I woke up at 7 o'clock this morning. Let Gary out, and then watched boxing in bed on my birthday.
Yeah.
Prepared for today.
I respect that.
I watched some last night as well.
I'm proud of you, mate. I'm proud of you. Let's we'll touch a little bit on Friday night's Matchroom show in Philadelphia. Tevin Farmer defending his title against John O'Carroll. It was one of them, like, Carroll threw so many punches. Like,
Is he set the record?
It's like a third highest punches thrown at that weight in a world title or something like that, which is an effort.
Throwing and landing, not the same thing.
No, they're not.
And I think Farmer was just a bit too slick for him a lot of the time. A lot of gloves, a lot of elbows, a lot of shoulders.
And that's exactly how I found one of the fights that I watched live last night, which I'll talk about a bit later. But with aggression,
yeah.
If aggression isn't intelligent, is it scoring?
Educated aggression.
Educated aggression. Yes, educated. You can't literally just head down and just... I don't know. I'm not saying they were all messy shots, but a lot of the times there weren't... You know, he wasn't particularly looking for a specific shot, John O'Carroll. He wasn't...
It wasn't, I'll throw a jab and I'll set that up and then I'll throw a combination. It was,
yeah.
I'm going to throw 7 shots. One
hits, yeah.
And I'll throw shit at the wall and see what sticks, kind of thing.
Yeah. And, you know, it wasn't enough. I don't know... Tevin Farmer's one of these guys. Like, I look at him and I think, you're very good, but he's definitely beatable. Like, he lost a lot of his early fights.
He's very poorly managed, isn't he? As in, he's got a lot of skill, he's got a lot of speed, just cannot punch.
Yeah.
Just can't punch.
It's a worry for him, man. Like, obviously, he's knocked over James Tennyson with ease, beat John O'Carroll convincingly over 12. I don't know why they keep feeding him these sort of... Oh, yeah, well, I do know, because it's fucking DAZN and Eddie Hearn wants to... People that we know, and it's kind of how he's building over there, isn't he? It seems to be his plan at the minute. Put people we know over on them shows, and then get a bit more interest in them, I guess. But yeah, it was a convincing win for Farmer, and I don't know about John O'Carroll, man. Like, is he ever going to be world level? Because he didn't look it in that fight. Well,
sometimes we don't need him to be world level. Like, I'm not saying it's the same situation, but Arturo Gatti got cut to absolute pieces by Mayweather, but you'd always watch him fight.
Yeah.
He's always value for money.
Yeah, but don't call John O'Carroll been in the same fucking conversation as Arturo Gatti.
But look, he's going to throw that many punches. Stick him in with someone else that throws that many punches that can't punch.
And it can be fun.
And it could be fun to watch.
Yeah.
So you don't need to be world level, you can just be entertaining.
Yeah.
But then that's not down to us. It depends what he wants out of his career.
Yeah. I did see him and Farmer went together and got a Philly cheesesteak. You see that?
That's a point. Like, some people are not in boxing because they, obviously a lot of them are, they just want to be a world champion. Others are like, do you know what, Jamani, just like fighting. I don't really care what I win, what I lose, I just like to fight.
Yeah.
If it takes me to get to European level before it's a 50-50, then it's so be it. It takes me to British and then I found my level, I'm still going to keep fighting whether I win or lose because I just like fighting.
Yeah. Did Cheeky Grant take you out for food after your fight?
We've spoken a few times. I think he
You need to go out for food. There was a video of John O'Carroll.
He's going to bait me up again.
John O'Carroll was in the back of Tevin Farmer's car and he took him for Philly cheesesteak like today or yesterday. Fucking brilliant. Like, I mean, that's what boxing should be, innit?
Yeah, man.
Unreal. No, it was good. It's them DAZN shows, man. They're... If I'm being honest, I look at Matchroom's cards and I'm talking about worldwide, and they're poor. Like on paper, they're poor. We had Katie Taylor who won a 3rd belt, I think, which not many people particularly care about. You know,
box?
That bird,
that one,
the champion, the other champion. She took a title off the champion. It was a unification fight.
Oh,
yeah, she beat her. Was that tumbleweed?
Yeah, I think all the people that wanted to watch it.
What do you think? I don't know if we've touched on this before, but while we're here,
she's good. Listen,
no, but what do you think the problem is? Why is women's boxing not connecting with the boxing fans?
It's not just women's boxing. This isn't. It's not sexist. I don't think to say. It's that it's a fact that men are physically faster and stronger, etc., etc. So it's just a fact. No, it's just a fact. It's just.
You can't say that. It's 2019.
I get it.
We're all allowed to be gender fluid and.
Okay, put women in men's boxing then and watch them win no titles ever. The point is, it's more exciting to watch men do it because it's always
true, but
it's always harder, it's always faster, it's always messier, it's the same.
I understand that point, but
all right,
some sports it's working.
Do they still do the 2-minute rounds?
Yeah.
Well then, back off again.
And for 10 rounds,
so
2 minutes.
Back away from your equals then. You're not equals. You're not doing 3-3s.
Yeah.
You're not doing 3-minute rounds.
Yeah. No, it's not the women's fault. I don't think it's their fault.
I'm not against women doing threes. I'll be like, do you know what? Fair play to you. Do the 3-minute rounds. More than happy to do it. And there's a lot of women out there, a lot more fit than me and you. But I just think that men, is like I say, it's just men are just physically stronger and faster and fitter. It's just, and that's what it is.
I do see that, but I'm an MMA fan, as you know.
Why don't I watch the Under-17s World Cup?
They did. England won it, didn't they?
I know
they won it in the
19s. I'll tell you, we won it. I only know it because there was that list that come up of what's his name's credentials.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch it. But I watched the World Cup.
Yeah, I get the point.
It's all right. They're fucking good players. They're fucking good, but it's just not as high level.
I know, but I don't see that because people will watch. I don't know. The only example I come up with is MMA and women's MMA, and that is transition. That they can headline their own cards, and they'll sell out, and they have a following, and I can list off X amount of quality fighters that's in one organisation. But boxing, in my opinion, hasn't transitioned where anyone cares.
Maybe my argument was a load of shit. Like, it's only an opinion. I just think that's my opinion.
I can see it.
People are going to watch men's sport more than women's, whether you like it or not.
But if you look at tennis and you go, name me 5 or 10 tennis players, I'm guaranteed the Williams sisters will come into your head at some point. There's a transition in that sport.
Okay, my argument's a load of shit. I get it.
No, but it's not. It's an opinion, and like, listen, if you put Federer against Venus Williams, it's going one way.
Okay,
let's have it right.
If I'm going to watch women's sports, it's probably going to be volleyball. It's probably going to be tennis.
You sexist pig.
It's not. It's just I'm not. I'm just telling you. That's what I'm going to watch if I'm going to choose to watch.
I personally can't put my finger on what it is, but I don't connect with women's boxing. That's the truth, and I don't know why.
Is it because there's not enough competition for them?
Maybe.
Like, it's really unfair in any boxing to say. It's like, for example, someone was telling me the other day about a fighter they've got. Oh yeah, we've got this lad. He's the next best thing. Oh yeah, tell me a little about him. Yeah, he's won the Junior Olympics or whatever it is. Oh, how old is he? He's 15. What does he weigh? 98 kilos. There's about 12 people on the planet at that age that weight. That's fine. No disrespect to what he's done.
Yeah.
Fair play to what he's done, but when you're 15 years old and you weigh 95 kilos, there's not many other 15-year-olds that size. Yeah. It's like being a fully grown man and weighing 48 kilos. It's a smaller pool to be. So for the women, it's the same thing. It's just such a smaller pool.
Yeah.
If let's say Katie Taylor, she's bold, she's got all the skills in the fucking world. There's not enough women out there to give her a real test. I don't follow a lot of it.
As you said, yes.
I don't follow it, but I don't think if you're that good, there's enough out there for these women to really show what they can do.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's a smaller talent pool.
Does that make sense?
I think it's definitely fair. It's a smaller talent pool, which makes it harder to shine. Listen, there will be people that love women's boxing, and I'm not saying I hate it.
I don't dislike it. I just don't watch it.
Yeah,
I'm not against it.
I'm not connected.
I'm not against it. Like I would happily watch girls if I'm at a show and it was a good fight. Great, same as the guys that I've. It's just not. I don't really enjoy watching it. It's just.
Yeah.
Why
I mean,
is-
if you were at Roxana Begum's debut, you'd never watch another ladies fight. It was bad. Do you remember Roxana Begum, the haymaker, Jim, bless her?
Yeah.
I think I'd rather watch Shamima Begum fight, to be honest with you. She threw bombs, that girl.
Oh, damn!
Damn! My bad.
Did you plan that?
I think I was going to talk about Roxana Begum.
Did you just freestyle that?
I just got bars for days. I'm freestyling. I hope people understand that. Should I explain the joke so everyone finds it funny? No, I'll leave it. We knew it was funny.
The less people that know what it means, the better.
Okay. Right. Saturday night. Well, let's talk about the Goodwin show that I was at, that I attended. Makes more sense, I guess, rather than going on to Spence Garcia. We'll do that later. You couldn't make it. You had family duties. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I held down the fort for the Fight Talk Boxing podcast. You know, as I tend to do a lot. You just kind of look pretty and turn up on a Sunday and talking to a fucking dictaphone. But then again, you did watch some boxing this week.
I did watch some boxing.
Which I'm proud of you about.
Plus, I've actually boxed, so maybe I know. Yeah.
I told you, undefeated me.
Not 1-on-1. You got a draw.
Watch your mouth, man. You didn't lose. Yeah, no, it was actually a very, very good Goodwin show. Like,
it's my birthday. Why can't we go past one podcast about bringing shit up, bring up the past?
because if
Why do you have to bring up the past?
that needs to be like, now we have music to start the pod and a cheeky Grant
I
reference.
think that gets brought up more than David Hay in the podcast now.
You're not allowed to talk about David Hay. I'll press stop right now. We don't talk about David Hay
Don't
anymore.
like him anymore.
I'll always love him, but my heart will always hurt the way he went out against that sucker Bellew. Like, when you're going out to Bellew, things are bad, man.
I went out to Cheeky Grant. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but Bellew's a fucking knob. Did you see his tweet today? Again, back to the same thing. Darren Till, UFC fighter, got slept. It was amazing. It was beautiful to see. Scouser literally snoring. Beautiful. Loved it. Celebrated when I saw the video on Twitter. Great stuff. But his point was, maybe instead of commenting, people should try it themselves, is what he wrote. So again, we're back to the same, if you haven't done it, you can't comment on it. This is Tony Bellew, and this is the guy that wants to hang paedophiles and stuff. Well, have you hung someone before, Tony? Maybe you shouldn't have an opinion on it. Have you ever watched...
Oh, that's good.
No, but it's pathetic.
I wish I had a crowd to back up.
It's pathetic. I tweeted, like, maybe we shouldn't ever... First of all, you can't listen to music because you've never been in a studio. You know, you can't watch a television programme. You've never been on set. You're not allowed to eat because you ain't a chef. You never fucking cooked before. Let's not get pathetic. This is an entertainment business that we pay to watch. So then people that paid 200 quid to go to London last night and they're not entitled to say Darren Till got knocked the fuck out. No, they're not, because Tony Bellew told them so. Get a grip, you prick. Such a fucking high horse, like one of them, you know what I mean?
See worse than Carl Fox though.
Oh, absolutely not. Just put them both in a room together and just fucking... Oh, mate. Yeah, despise them, but whatever. The Goodwin show. It was a good card, man. Like, it was a lot of fights. I was there from fight 1 till fight 13, which was the final fight. Ramirez was meant to box, but he couldn't get an opponent, which is happening more and more.
Can he get up to 90? About 87.
Like what weight?
About 87.
Who's 87?
Me.
You box Ramirez, yeah?
Yeah.
Bully. I'd put my money on the mathematician.
So would I.
I'll run through a few of the undercard fighters, but Robbie Chapman, Jordan Granham, usual.
Jordan Granham does his job.
Did his job, turned up, talking to him a lot through the fight, actually.
Good at what he does.
First round, Robbie Chapman hit him in the body. And he went, "You can't punch, can you?" And Granham did. It's quite funny. Journeyman talk, that's what they do. But yeah, it was a couple of good. Jack Newham, let me rattle off a few of the good names. Kane Cantel made his debut, decent little fighter. Brad Watson, who I think has the worst nickname in British boxing.
Hold on, what worse than the Blonde Bomber?
It's up there. You ready for this? The Glamour Boy. It's pretty bad, isn't it?
Oh, that's pretty worse, yeah.
The Glamour Boy. What? Why?
How old is he?
I don't know. He's won the English before, you know. He's a good-looking dude, right? Don't get me wrong.
He's won the English?
I think he's won the English before. I'm going to have to look him up.
How many fights has he had?
I don't know. This list I've got from the fighters, it doesn't have their records, it just has their weight. Super Bantam against Georgie Georgiev, stopped him in the first. Was one of the only stoppages in the early part of the card. But yeah, the Glamour Boy.
Was you about to say it was the only stoppage on the night and then you realised it wasn't?
And I remember Liner stopped Cordona, yes.
So then you had to backtrack.
That's
it was
exactly
one of the only
what
stoppages at the early part of the fight.
That is exactly what happened.
It was the only stoppage in that fight.
Thanks for It was the only stoppage in that fight.
Listen, if I didn't say it, someone else would have thought.
Yeah, he's backtracking there. The cut, yeah.
He's backed up.
Yeah, okay. It was one of only two. Liner stopped Cordona in the 7th, which was the only other stoppage, which shocked me because Mikael Lawal was in there, and he laboured really, in my opinion, against Kent Kapanen. Listen, Kent is an awkward dude, but I expected Lawal to look better. Oh no, I'm talking shit again. Dwayne Sinclair knocked the fuck out of one mush. Landed flat on his face.
One mush.
Yeah, no, he did. He boxed Tayer Mehmed. He was meant to box Jordan Joseph in the Fight Cup final. Didn't happen because Jordan Joseph's unwell. And he put this fella straight on his face. You know one of them beautiful ones where, bosh, and then they just fall flat. Great shot, Dwayne Sinclair. I think his eyes were a bit, but the ref was like, no, that's enough.
You got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, that'll do. Fair play to Dwayne Sinclair. I think he's ready to fight for a Southern area. Dan Aziz was there watching. I don't know what's happening with Dan Aziz. He's not sure himself. As far as he's aware, Andre Sterling is who he's going to be fighting for the Southern area because he's got the Southern area title. But Sterling just won the eliminator for the British, so in my opinion, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, Dan's ready to move on now, isn't he? I remember we talked about this last year.
Who, Andre?
Dan
Aziz. He needs to box for the Southern area. Yeah, he needs to. And him and Dwayne Sinclair's not a bad fight for the Southern area. Not a bad fight.
Wasn't it Charlie Duffield or something about before? Is it Charlie Duffield?
Charlie Duffield is in the mix. There's a few boys in the mix.
He's big though, isn't he?
He's a big unit.
He's a big boy.
Yeah. Let's talk about the
Gary of boxers.
Let's talk about I was going to say the three main events. There were three main events for me because Jamani Camero and Adrian Martin are two guys that you and me know extremely well. You know Adrian much better than I do.
Adrian from the amateurs.
You knew him from the AMs. Jamani's a guy I've known for a few years, but I've just there are not enough Jamani Camaros in boxing. There are not enough of them. Have gloves, will fight. Like that's who he is, and it's unbelievable to me.
Off the back of that, I just want to repeat what I said to you down there. The result of that fight further proves my point that I made months ago about there should be less weight divisions, not more weight divisions, because that result would have been that result no matter what fucking weight division it was.
You believe that?
I just believe that if someone's better than someone, doesn't matter if you're both 15 stone or both 11 stone, you're going to beat them if you're better than them.
Mm-hmm. Let me play devil's advocate. Is it possible Adrian had an off night? Is it possible he got the game plan wrong? I understand your point, but is it not possible that it was a bad night for Adrian?
Of course, that's always a possibility. That's always a possibility. But with all due respect to Adrian, someone don't come up 4 weight divisions at 5 days' notice and do that to you every single round for an off night. You have a few bad rounds, but every now and then you'll show that you're better than them. Right?
Yeah.
Like, listen, you have people you spar in the gym daily, do you know what I mean? I used to spar Lewis Smith sometimes, obviously a lot bigger than him. If I had an off day and Lou had an on day, Lou would be on me and it'd be fucking graft, but Lou wouldn't be bashing the fuck out of me.
Mm-hmm. But they're not little 8-ounce gloves or 10 ounce or whatever.
You know what I'm saying?
I get your point.
Do you see what I'm saying? I get it. Like, was that an off night? Do you think that the result would be different then?
I don't know.
From what I see, it wasn't the best Adrian, but then it's not fair to say what the best or worst Adrian is because you've not seen him in a real fight until last night.
Yeah.
And with all due respect to the fight, it wasn't supposed to be a real fight.
Yeah. You and I saw him in Brentwood last Saturday and we spoke to him and we both said it to his face. That turned out was his last fight we were talking about. We didn't think he was at his best then. Do you remember? He had a tough fight, and it turned out was his last one. That was September time. I think
he was telling me he was changing weight divisions to go up.
He wanted to go up,
and then that week it got announced. During the week, it got announced that he's actually not going up. He's fighting someone 4 weight divisions below him.
Free. He's got Jamani's a lightweight.
Lightweight, super lightweight, welterweight, super welterweight.
Well, yeah, but he's leaving lightweight, isn't he? So he's going up 3 weight classes now.
Okay.
But let's see. However you want to word it, it wasn't great from Adrian. I just think. Listen, I've got a little clip here of when I'm going to insert this little clip from when last night myself and Jamani's head trainer Sean Earls went for bagels and we had a little chat on the way. I'll insert that here and then we'll carry on talking about it. Way to the bagel shop. I was actually pressed record, so that's great singing. That is staying in. To the Jamani Camero. Do you remember 1 year ago, right? You boxed at short notice at welterweight against Freddie Hewitt. And then we drove up to Manchester the following morning. And then you go and do this time. You go up even further to super welter against a 9-0 prospect that we all know, Adrian Martin.
bless him, champion, absolute champion.
Yep, top bloke, and you knocked the 7 bells out of him. You smashed him up a lot, if we're being honest.
I don't think it was that bad.
Do you not?
I thought it was quite. I thought I was getting caught quite a lot. I mean, huge amount. But because I just kept the pressure on, I think it worked well.
I think Adrian has never fought someone who was bringing the pressure you brought. You know, Sean, who's your coach, is in you know, behind us, and he said you're a fat lightweight. That's what he said. They were his words. Is that am I lying?
Mate, we're on the way to the bagel shop.
We're on the way to the bagel shop. But your pressure was relentless, mate. Like, not that I didn't know you could do that, of course, but boxing is crazy. Your last fight, Jeffrey Ofori, where, you know, you lost the fight. I don't know what have you watched it back or?
Hands up to Ofori. I've not actually watched it. I've seen parts of it.
Yeah, I was ringside. I thought you lost it by a little while.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because that was at lightweight, and you're now fighting. You fought today on a week's, not even a week. Was it 4 days' notice?
4 days, yeah.
Super welterweight.
Well, I mean, I was around that weight, so I had to. I can't take 4 days' notice at lightweight.
You'll walk around.
There's no way of it.
But
walking around like
your power. You had a lot more power in your shots and stuff. Like,
I mean, that's a given if you're that much.
But is it though? Because obviously people, it can be said about certain people, if you cut too much weight, you lose your snap and your power and stuff. And you've never been someone who can't hit, but you're not known as a puncher.
No, not at all.
Do you know what I mean? But today
not really my forte, that's why.
You gave Adrian a lot of problems, man. You were on his chest and you sat on him and you landed some bombs. And I know, of course, he hit you back. Listen, he's a good fighter. You're not gonna have it all your own way. But
yeah,
hand on my heart, I thought it was the correct decision. I thought you won at least 4 of the rounds, and you boxed tremendously. Like, I don't know how many people would have seen that coming. I said, and Richie, I'm going to say it now because otherwise Richie will say you're a liar. Right? And I love you, Jamani. I thought it was a big ask for you. I thought it was a big ask for you on 4 days' notice. Yeah. You were just.
4's better than 2. I got 2 last, I remember.
Yeah.
So
you just don't give a fuck, do you? You just want to fight.
It's literally all it was. I feel like I didn't want to stick behind my jab too much in this. 1, because it's only 6 rounds, and 2, because if I did, I wouldn't have got the enjoyment which I wanted to get from the fight. So I just thought, you know, this time fucking go. Not as fucking as fit as I usually am. I was a bit tired, I guess. How
many takeaways you had in the last week?
I had 2 yesterday.
2 yesterday. The day before the fight, you had 2 takeaways. I respect that. That's how.
A Chinese and an Indian. It wasn't my fault. I tried my hardest, but
yeah. So what now? Like let's break down the, you know, let's take the emotion out of it right now, because you're not a fighter that people want to fight, because you're very awkward and it's a difficult situation you're in.
I'm gonna be real. I mean, I don't personally know why people don't want to fight me. I'm not like amazing.
You're alright.
It's like I don't do enough tickets. I probably could, but I don't want to put myself through that pressure, because that's not my kind of goal in life, you know, to go down that road and be here 4 years just kind of building. I just don't want to do that. Nothing against it, I just don't want to do it. So that's kind of out the question there. Trying to get fights with enough notice that are good enough isn't really going to happen, and I just kind of have to go for short notice things if I want to fight. So it's not about me being picky or me trying to take short notice fights. It's just how it comes, because people won't give you the notice. They'll rather pick someone else. It's only until the last week or so that they'll even consider you, because they cannot get someone else.
Well, you look, Ramez Mahmood lost his fight tonight because they couldn't get an opponent.
Exactly.
Couldn't get an opponent. So,
but I appreciate Major Martin even considering me, because he could have easily have not taken a fight against me. So even though it was last minute, I'm happy he's taking it. So yeah.
No, respect to him for taking. It's true, because he could have easily just gone, you know what, I'll do it another time. I'll wait for a foreign journeyman or whatever.
No, exactly.
So fair play to him.
And he wanted to test, so he needed to test, because I'm not sure the types of fights he's had before. He's had some really good fights. I've not watched them all, but obviously no one that's proper trying to kind of come for him, like I guess I did today. So it's good for him and going forwards, and there's nothing wrong with it really. I mean, if more people were willing to take it, I think we would have better fighters in the UK.
Definitely. Do you reckon you'll stay around welter, super welter, and look for short notice fights then? Is that?
I give it. No.
Whatever you weigh on when the phone rings. Sean, I can't not ask you while you're sitting back there, mate, all patiently. What did you think of Jamani? How did you rate his performance? Obviously, you're the head trainer, you're the guy in the corner.
Stuck to the game plan, not taking a backward step.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah. So he done what we planned to do, and it worked. So if the plan worked, then I'm happy.
Yeah, 4 for 4 tonight from the State of Mind boys.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Dana Zaxo, Ricky Heavens. Who am I missing apart from
Kane Cantel.
Oh, Kane Cantel.
Yeah, man.
On his debut.
Young debutant. Looked quite nice. Like he's got a low left hand. It's quite different from most boys you see. Have you not replaced Jack Hughes as the little man in the gym then? Is that Kane Cantel? Is that the situation? Is that where we're at?
Didn't he fight his cousin, Sam? Is it Sam Cantel? No, it's not.
No, that's Campbell, you bet.
Fucking up. Shut up. You just do the fighting, alright? We'll do the talking.
Yes, it's a good night for us.
A very good night for you boys. Good show. Linus obviously got his victory.
Yeah, man.
Which I'm going to go into more in the pod. This was just a section to cover you boys, but
look good.
Congratulations, Jamani Camaro. Congratulations, Sean, as head trainer. Bigger and better things hopefully now in your future.
Thanks.
Let's go get some fucking bagels.
Yeah,
boys.
baby.
Let's go get some bagels.
What, 2 each, yeah?
2 each. Shush.
So yeah, that's. I hope this works. It's the first time we're doing this. We'll see how it goes. People know we like to try new shit. We tried the live portion. It didn't work. I didn't like it. We'll see if that little. I was thinking of doing more clips from small hall shows.
We're going to try some things. If anyone wants to throw any ideas.
Yeah, I need feedback as well. To be honest, like I get a lot of people who ask when the pod's
young
back.
Today, Sam.
Who told me that? Rob Martin told me that last night.
You're looking very young.
The Mayor of Brixton, shout out to Mayor of Brixton, saw him last night and he said, you know what, you're looking so young. What have I done?
Today?
I've been moisturising. Is that what it is?
I was going to say that. You've been
do you know what it is, bro? I'm that old. I get dryness around my face now and I've got to look after me, so I'm in my 30s, bro.
You look good.
I don't know. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Man.
Jeez. I'm going to come around here more often. My guy. Yeah, sum up Jamani and Adrian. I said it in that little clip. I think he roughed him up. And he sat on his chest and he roughed him up.
Adrian did the right thing by taking on, what was, I suppose, a 50-50. In my mind, it was never supposed to be 50-50. I'm not going to say what I don't think.
Yeah.
That was not supposed to be 50-50. I like both of them. I like Adrian. I like Jamani. Jamani got the results. It doesn't matter really what I fucking say, but that was supposed to be a mismatch. On paper, you're fucking coming up 3 weight divisions. You haven't boxed for fucking ages anyway. Adrian's 9-0, supposed to be a middleweight, as he says to me. A 9-0 middleweight fighting someone who is, 9 and 6 going into the fight from fucking 4 weight divisions below, whatever. Shouldn't have been a 50-50. Jamani showed what he had. Maybe Adrian had an off night, but I'm glad Adrian took fights like that. I feel like Adrian, everyone who knows Adrian, I feel like Adrian's. You get complacent. You win a few fights. And I think a lot of fighters out there forget that you can get the 10-0, 9-0. You've actually boxed absolutely no one. Like
Jamani's record before that was 6-3 last night.
I put this on Twitter a little while ago. Isn't it crazy to believe that 20-0 as an amateur is a hell of a lot harder to achieve than 20-0 as a professional?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes, Adrian's been guilty of it, of believing the own hype. You've beat 9 absolute knockovers. They are just there for a payday, no other reason whatsoever. They are not there to compete in any other way, and then believing that you've beaten 50-50s. And I think it would be a great lesson to Adrian last night. It's a hard lesson, but I think it would be a great lesson for him to think, right, this is actually what's going to happen when I want to compete for titles.
I can't sit here and dig out Adrian. I can't, because I'm.
That's not a dig at Adrian.
No, that's not. I know it's not.
A lot of fighters out there, they beat a load of journeymen and then they start to believe that.
100%.
Someone like Jamani,
yeah, 100%. Right.
has a record of 10-7.
No,
now.
6-3. What are you talking about? It was his 10th fight last night.
10 fights, 6-3,
and then he won 7 last night.
7 wins, and someone that could have beat 15 journeymen will go around thinking they're better than someone like Jamani.
Yeah.
Well, Jamani's actually boxed 5 contenders.
Yep.
And you've boxed 15 journeymen.
Yep.
So technically, if you want to be honest about it, you've had 10 sparring sessions in front of 15 sparring sessions in front of your friends. Jumani's had 5 fights.
Yeah.
Like that, but it happens a lot. And I know people need to get their education and, you know, in the boxing and find their feet in...
Go that curve, please.
Find their feet and all that, but...
Yeah.
It's a lesson that should be learned at some point.
It is, and I think
Adrian will be better for it.
Yeah, there you go.
As long as it doesn't bother him, I think Adrian will be better for it.
I agree.
He has every right to go away and sulk for a little while. He really does. He has every right to do that.
Feel sorry for himself.
He has every right to do that. But now, after that, he'll say, all right, maybe I got complacent. You know, I beat a load of journeymen and I started to believe, you know, like a lot of fighters do it, and he'll realise actually, no, when they're actually coming to be active, it's a different ballgame.
I sit here week in, week out and say I want more Jumani Camaros, I want more guys that are willing to go, let's fight, I'll do it, fuck the little paydays, fuck the little ticket, let's fight, let's put a fight on. My concern is, and I said it to them last night, all you've done is make these homeboys more reluctant to fight a fellow... What do you call Jumani? Not he's former champion, but do you know what I'm getting at?
He's an away fighter, not a journeyman.
Yeah, well, is he an away fighter? He will be now, I guess. But who's going to book him? Who's booking Jumani Camaro? If I'm a lightweight,
journeyman. That's what I'm saying.
He's not. But I ain't
he's an away fighter. That's what I'm saying. So
yeah.
if you want to give your boy a test, a proper test, you go. Do you know what? Jumani might beat you. Jumani might beat you.
Yeah.
You could be now. Now Jumani's proven that you could be a middleweight from up north. And thinks, right, I want someone on my books that's gonna, and who can I probably beat? And they'll look at Jumani and they'll go, fuck mate, he's a lightweight and he'll fight someone middleweight.
Yeah.
Fuck it, we'll have that.
Yeah.
And Jumani can do things like that.
Yeah, that's true. It just concerns me that if you're looking for opponents and you look through and you go, Jumani Camaro won the Southern area at lightweight and then beats a 9-0 super welter. Nah, no thanks, we'll move along. Is there a foreigner available? That's what I honestly believe will happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's going to take a brave 8-0 to go, no, I want Jumani now. It's going to take a brave motherfucker to do that. Do you understand my point?
He doesn't bring anything to the table, does he?
And I said this to them, like, listen, Sean and Jumani know this, and this is why he fights when he fights. He'll take fight. If you phone him now and say, do you want to fight Saturday? You go, all right. No, he won't. He's on a stag do. And he's buzzing for it. But my point is he will fight. And that's what I love about him, and that's his mindset. I just want to fight. He's not in this for the money. If he is, he's in the wrong fucking game, isn't he? Last night he earned some bagel money for us, which is... I'll follow him around the country if he's buying bagels, you know what I mean? But, no, listen, Adrian's going to learn from that. I hope he learns from that.
Thing. I think he'll learn from that. Depends on his attitude in his own mind.
Yep.
I think he'll learn from that. I think Davis has got a couple of losses on his record. Adrian's got a loss.
He's got a loss on his record.
Mitch Fearson, these are all around the same weight division.
Yeah.
Just got a draw.
And he got dropped quite
I like
heavily.
that little circle of Adrian, Davis, Mitch. Davis and Mitch, to be fair, have been friends for a very long time.
Yeah.
Very unlikely. They're boxers. Have known each other for years. And throw Shaq in the mix. I like that little...
Shaquille Day.
Yeah, I like that little mix. You know what I mean? Of the four of them, none of them are big punchers, so they can all go in there. Maybe lose. They're not likely to get knocked out. Not likely to take too much damage. It's a good fight for all of them.
Yeah.
I think that's a great fight for all of them, and I like that little circle.
I don't see any problem with boys.
Square, because there's four of them. I like that square.
Yeah. I'm sure there was a question regarding Jumani and Adrian. Here it is.
Oh, by the way, backtracking to Mitch. I've sparred rounds of fucking Mitch. Mitch has got a fucking good chin. I could not believe when he went down the other week.
Yeah.
He got back up and he's got good recovery, but fuck me, that geezer must have hit him with some shot because I did see it, but it must have fucking connected well.
Yeah.
Mitch has got a fucking good chin. I've seen him box before. Countless times get hit hard and he just shakes them off.
A question regarding Jumani Camaro and Adrian Martin was from the Mayor of Brixton. Shout out to Mayor every time. Was a pleasure seeing you looking like you were enjoying last night's show, Sam. You know, it was no stress, man. Like, I'm not running around looking for interviews. I was just seeing people. I was giving them a cuddle and I was sitting there eating sweets. Like, I was...
You feel how I feel after retirement?
Yeah, like, honestly, as long as I can do the pod, and who knows what'll happen in the future, but I'm enjoying being... And listen, thank you very much to Team Goodwin for putting me up, as always, even though I don't have a website.
I wish I...
Kevin Campion is a genuine hero of a man. He's a lovely gentleman. Steve's so much time for them, so thank you for putting me up.
For years.
The question was, tell me what your thoughts on Adrian and Jumani's fight, with Jumani taking it at short notice, which I think we've done. What does that say for Martin at that weight? Heard him say after that he struggled. I didn't hear that personally. It was a couple of things that Adrian had said to different people, and I didn't see Adrian after the fight.
What he said to us the other week.
It does.
My worry is, can he compete at middleweight though?
Yeah. It's a worry for him because he's been at welter for the first 7 fights, I think, 7 or 8, and that was at super welter, and he's talking about middle. I don't know. What he did prove, he's got a fantastic chin.
Well, I agree. He's got a fantastic chin. We've never seen him hurt. Why has he got a fantastic chin? Because he took a shot off a lightweight.
Fair. And Jamani's not the biggest punching lightweight.
He took a fucking shot off a non-punching lightweight. So that didn't prove shit on Adrian's chin. Although I do believe Adrian's got a good chin.
What?
No, I do.
Okay, alright, I got what you're saying.
Yes, we've seen him get hit, so I do believe Adrian's got a good chin, but not off the back of last night.
Okay.
Before that, anyway, he had a good chin.
Alright.
But that's the only thing Adrian's got going into the middleweights. He hasn't been hurt yet, so we have no reason to doubt that he can take a shot at middleweight, because you never know. With a bit more food in him, he might even feel
stronger,
even more durable, and he might even hit a bit harder.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it possible that maybe Jamani beat Adrian because I like he's a lot faster than middleweights? You know, I've sparred lightweights in the past. They're hard to keep up with. They're busy. So really,
don't you lose that speed when you got a little belly on you?
They're probably, but you'll probably still have more than the middleweight if you like. If he's gone up,
yeah.
He's still got the work rate. It's very different.
It's hard to put your finger on that. That's a weird. If you actually think about that. No, 100%. But when you boxed the lightweight, he was at lightweight. Jamani was at light middle last night.
To spar a lightweight, I know it's different. I'm only trying to outbox him now in a sparring session. I've got
you don't want to knock his fucking
you're not going to try and knock him out. Majority of the time, the lightweight's going to be doing a lot more work than you. He's going to be all over the place. You're going to hard to catch him, you know.
But Jamani weighed in at light middle though.
And if you I'll get to that. When you get to middleweight and they fight middleweight, if you can't punch anyway, all you're really left with is just a boxing match with someone that's quicker than you.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. I've never thought of it like that.
So how many times did I say before? Less weight divisions, not more.
Yeah, take out a couple. Be better. Be a better. Be a better big man.
What was my comment?
People loved it.
Be fucking better then. Be better. Jamani did it.
Yeah.
So. And
Jamani
maybe if they made less weight divisions, it'd be like last night that he was Garcia was competing for his
fifth.
Mate,
he was a featherweight champion.
Yeah, but
featherweight world champion. He boxed the world.
That shouldn't be happening. So there's too many weight divisions because all I've got to do is I'll tell you what I do. I'll just have an extra sip of water on the next weight division, or one less sip of water division. That is too many weight divisions.
Yeah.
There should be
there's 4 pounds between divisions.
There should be a you could look at someone and be like, they're not the same weight.
Yeah.
Straight away, like. I'm not saying put Manny Pacquiao and Manny Joshua. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you can probably put a super welterweight in with a super middleweight.
150. That's a stone in it. You reckon you could do that?
The right fighters.
And then meet in the middle.
The right fighters. Yeah. The weight division will be bigger, but obviously they will still have to. They're
within that parameter. Yeah. So a 10 pound weight division.
So I'm not saying. You know, you're going to turn up at 15 stone, he's going to turn up at 13 because it's the same category. So, alright, we'll both make 14. And I don't think it will have a big impact.
Do you know what is weird though? No one mentions it at heavyweight. Do you know what I'm saying?
Because the sky's the limit. Otherwise.
No, but that's what I mean. So, Jamani was the lightweight Southern Area champion.
Guys going up to 200 kilos. There'll be one up, like I just said to you earlier, about the 15-year-old that's 95 kilos. There'll be a geezer who goes up to 250 kilos. There's only one other geezer in the world, which is world champion now.
Yeah. But
you have to draw the line.
Jamani, his division he won his title in is 19 pounds lighter than he boxed at last night. So that's a stone and a half essentially.
Yeah.
Obviously he's wearing that weight now because he's just knocking about, eating and shit, waiting for the phone to ring. But if you're at heavyweight and you go, there's 19 pounds in it, it's never really. We don't do this thing. Do you know what I mean?
I get that smaller it makes a bigger difference.
Yeah. I
do get it, but I still think it's too many weight divisions.
Okay.
Because
I don't disagree, by the way. I don't disagree at all. 4 pounds between weights is crazy.
You're going to beat him.
Super bantam and feather is like 4 pounds. I mean, 4 pounds. That's a big shit, isn't it? 4 pounds. It's crazy. Let's move on to the Luton boys. You watched Linus Udofia, Darren Cordona?
Yep.
Good fight. Enjoyed it. It was a little bit of needle because of the weigh-in. Did you see that?
Darren, for me, has turned into a little bit of a gatekeeper with his fight with Linus and with Tay.
Yeah.
I feel like the boys will all go, do you know what, fight Darren. If you lose to Darren, you're not gonna win that title.
Yeah.
But you might as well fight him to know if you're good enough, because Darren will always be good enough to compete with it, but never win it.
Do you reckon?
He might.
Opponent dependent.
He's not going to beat.
Because that should have been for the Southern area last night because of politics.
He's not beating Denzel. He didn't beat Linus. He's not beating Tay. Who else at middleweight? He's not beating Kieran Conway for me.
Brad Pauls?
Not beating Brad Pauls.
No. Agree.
If anything, he's got a better chance against Brad. He's the lightest puncher of them. In fact, Tay's the lightest puncher of them all.
Brad's the biggest puncher.
Is he? I thought Linus had more knockouts.
I think brute strength, I think Brad is probably a bigger puncher.
Strength is not the same as power.
Okay, I think not knockout power, because there's also a difference between power and knockout power. Do you know what I mean? Like, who is it we were talking about last night? I can't remember, but you don't have to one punch concussively knock someone out to be a big puncher. Like, you can be someone that wears down. Like, when people say, "Oh, Joshua's not a big puncher," that's foof. You're talking bollocks. Like,
he's a heavy puncher.
He can bang. Like, he's not a wilder.
I don't think Dan Aziz is a one punch knockout.
No,
but he fuds with every shot.
And that's the point. It's like, I think Brad punches hard, and I haven't taken a dig off him and Linus to know, but I think Linus is the slicker.
And that's why he's knocking him out.
And that's why he's knocking him out. His combinations are
superb. You get used to the strength, you get used to the power, and then all of a sudden you think, oh, it's not that bad, and then boom!
Yeah. I mean, Brad hasn't had his 50-50 yet. Yeah. You know, Brad hasn't had that, if we're being honest. No, I'm talking shit again, because Diego Burton's giving him that motherfucker comes to fight. I saw him last night. Big up Diego Burton, man. Lovely man.
I remember that, yeah.
But he was there to win. So actually, no, I'll take that back. And he beat him, nicely.
Stopped him, didn't he?
Yeah, he stopped him late on, which it was a questionable stoppage, but he was winning on the point. But yeah, my point is, I went around the houses to get there. I'd put Cordona in with Brad for the Southern area. And I wouldn't think it's easy.
Why? Because Darren's a gatekeeper.
But I wouldn't think it's an easy fight. Like,
for Darren, for me, he's got a lot. He's got some moves. Do you know what I mean? He gave Tay a fucking horrible night.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some moves, but he can't really punch. And he's got some moves. You know what I mean? I think he's slick enough to.
He's a tough man.
Slick enough to make it awkward for you.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And that is what he brings to the table for me.
But he obviously has his own aspirations to win a title.
He's up for it. Listen, he's boxing these boys. He don't care.
Yeah.
When I found out he's boxing Linus, I thought, I don't think so.
No.
But he still did it. The result happened, which I kind of thought might happen, but he still was up for it.
Before the stoppage, he dropped him twice. Once was a great shot.
To the back of the head.
So did I say stop him or drop him?
Drop him.
I meant, yeah,
one was a body shot early on, wasn't it?
One was a body shot early. The second one, it was like a cuff into the back of the head, and he sort of touched his glove. Technically, it's a knockdown, but it wasn't like he was hurt, in my opinion. Yeah, but the stoppage was right. He was getting a bit of a beating at that point. Linus turned it up. He's fucking turned it on. Yeah. Linus is ready to fight for that English title against whoever the fuck holds it. Someone up north, innit? It used to be Elliot Matthews, but didn't it get vacated? I don't know. We'll see what happens with that.
Linus beats Elliot.
Linus beats Elliot, yeah.
Yeah.
That fight won't happen. They'd never match Elliot with Linus.
No, he sells too many tickets to lose. I mean, he's just doing different stuff, isn't he?
Wait, do you know what? He changed. He's not with Mickey Elliott anymore. He's Mo Pryor fighter now.
He might have a different career now.
He was meant to get a European title fight, and that fell through on like a couple of days' notice. So it's all up in the air again with him.
Grant the go-getter. What was his?
Grant Dennis.
What is he floating about now? He was around the English level.
Yeah. There could be fight. There could be legs in that. But I'm pretty sure someone's got the English up north. I don't know. We'll see.
Even Taylor be a nice fight.
Who? Grant Dennis.
Yeah.
Well, they have a mutual opponent, Nick Genman, didn't they? Nick Genman got beat off Grant Dennis and then beat Tay. So yeah, they'll be.
No, but they should fight anyway. They're both not massive punchers, but they both come forward, work. I think Grant Dennis actually throws faster combinations than Tay.
Yeah.
I think Tay will be a bit stronger physically.
Yeah. The main event of the night: Kay Prosper against Sam O'Mason for the English. Mate,
that was a draw.
Right, let's say this before we start. Right, Goodwin shows are the best small hall shows.
This is what we talked about yesterday.
Yeah, and not only with you, I've talked about it with multiple people. So Steve has had this little that he does for a while. He has 2 MCs for the night. The bigger fights, he have it was that Hollywood guy. What's his name? Brett Hollywood with the fucking crocodile shoes. Brett Hollywood, that guy. He would do the main events, and Verity, that female, would do the undercard fights. But Hollywood stepped away. Apparently, he's retiring or something now. So this time they had that English fella doing the undercard fights, and Verity did the main events. The English guy, I should have learnt his name so I could slag him correctly. So apologies for not getting your name right. You're terrible. He called him Jumanji. He called him Jumanji, and he didn't just say it once. He didn't just say it twice. He said it 3 times. Before he's in the ring,
once,
when he got in the ring,
twice,
and then when he won the fight. 3 times Jumanji.
3 times Jumanji.
3 times. He called him Linus. Oh no, she did this. Sorry. So I'm losing track because the MCs were that bad. They're really, really bad.
My favourite part was I watched the result of that draw.
K Prosper and Sam Amazing.
And this scorecard. So
she was baffled.
The result is a draw. It's a draw. What the fuck? Like, if there was ever any suspense,
it's gone.
Lost it, mate.
So you've got the crowd going mental. You had all the Northern boys up at the top going fucking mad for Sam. All the looters up. But you know how
silence?
Yeah. But she couldn't get it right. So she did the scorecards, right?
But she gave away the result on the scorecard.
She gave away the result on the scorecard. So she did the draw. She went, the first card is a draw, 95-95. She did the second one to, was it Sam Amazing who won the second, 96-94 maybe? And then the third one was a draw. But she's gone, it's 95, that's a majority draw to Sam. Oh, amazing. No. You don't win if it's a majority draw.
She did say that, didn't she?
Yeah, because he kept his title. Yeah. So he kept his English title because it was a majority draw. But she went, majority draw to Sam O'Mason. Honestly, that's literally my only bugbear of a Goodwin show is the MCs are really, really bad. And there's, we're talking about small, shallow pools. Mate, someone's got to do something here. Because they're... Bruh.
Where do I...
Yeah, you could do it. The MCs on the small hall scene...
Weak.
Mate, honestly, really, really bad. I can't get my head around it. And I don't know if Steve still listens to this, but... Goodwin shows, in my opinion, are the best small hall shows, but the MCs are diabolical, is my honest opinion of it. And, it's just, they just don't know what they're getting the names wrong, getting the records not wrong. They said Cordona's only loss was for the Southern Area title. He was 7-3 before last night. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the answer is.
I like what they did on MTK.
Someone please do something.
MTK did a good thing the other week, which I actually thought was pretty good.
What?
They was announcing 7-0 in the home corner, in the away corner, with 6 wins.
Yeah, they never mentioned the losses.
They never mentioned the losses. Yeah. I like it though, I like it. No,
he had 6 wins on his record.
100 losses.
From... yeah, he whispers it off
like the small print at the end of a radio.
You were not on the car. Yeah, no, that's exactly what it's like, man. It's like a secret.
Not big contender, this is not 50-50. He does have a voice.
He's only here to lose, he knows his deal. Oh man, but yeah, no, the MCs are shocking. But actually, the actual fight, K Prosper and Sam Amazing, I think everyone knew Sam Amazing is this animal from up north that we've heard about, and he punches like a mule. The boy can bang. You can see he looks like, we spoke about it last night with the whip, Dave Evans, me, Martin, and Brooke. We think he's a southpaw, but he looks like he's a right-handed southpaw because that fucking lead hand, when he hooks, man, you nearly decapitates you. Yeah. And a minute into the fight, he hit Kay with his shot above the ear, and Kay did a funny walk. One of them where he lost his foot and was like, shit, this is an early night. And Kay weathered that storm. He weathered it, and he started picking up rounds, and by the end, we all had different scorecards at ringside. All 3 of us had different scorecards. And Steve...
Shout out Jumani. Happy birthday me over WhatsApp.
Man like Jumanji.
Man like the champs fucking giving me fucking happy birthday.
Yeah, you made it when Jumanji's. But
Jumanji just messaged me.
Sam Amazing, great fighter, like proper strong, but he started losing rounds because of it's what we spoke about earlier, and this is what I was referring to. He was always aggressive through the entire fight, but it stopped being intelligent aggression. Kay was allowed to. Not allowed. Kay made himself get out of trouble quicker than he allowed the push forward. Yeah. So he was getting out of trouble and landing some good shots.
He read the situation well.
He boxed superbly. And 95-95 wasn't. That was a. Some fights you go bit of a pussy calling that a draw because you don't want to put your neck on. That was legit. I think I had it I shaded it to Prosper.
But when you've got it like that. You
can't argue.
Someone else might say
and Steve Goodwin didn't argue one bit with it, but he did argue with this. There was 3, he counted 4, I only remember 3, warnings to Sam for low blows. All for low blows. And he's like, why is the point not being taken off? He said, don't argue with the scorecards, I think they're perfectly fair. But why did he not lose a point? Because if he loses a point, your winner is K Prosper, and he wins the fucking English title.
That's got rematch written all over it.
Not for me. If I'm them, I'm not doing it again. It was meant to be a knockover job. No, it wasn't meant. That's not true. Again, I'm being dramatic. It wasn't supposed to be a knockover job. But this Sam Amazing comes with a feared reputation, and they came down here fully believing he would knock K Prosper's head off. And a minute into the fight, you thought that's the way it's going. And then K fucking boxed beautifully. I thought he found his feet, he found his range, his rhythm. He stayed out of trouble intelligently, and he landed some great shots of his own. A draw, fair result, but there is a question mark on if there should have been points taken off for Sam Amazing. I don't know the rules on that. How many warnings do you get? Is it at the fucking discretion of the ref? Look at Okoli at Wembley.
It's a certain amount of warnings in one round, and then it's a different amount if they're spread over separate rounds.
Yeah, I don't know the laws on it.
So 3 in 1 round.
Yeah, but it was over the fight. It was 3. I counted 3. Steve said he counted 4.
If it's 3 in 1 round, I think this I could be wrong.
In one fight,
if
you
it's
know.
3 in 1 round.
Okay, that didn't happen.
You'll lose a point. If it's over different rounds, it's likely to be a different number.
Okay. It's a weird one.
But then, listen,
because it's grey, isn't it? You know, okay, in boxing, you cannot punch to the back of the head. You cannot punch below the belt line. Okay, can we have some clarity, please, on how many warnings are allowed before a point is taken off? Do you know what I mean? Maybe there should be.
Yeah.
So it's out of the ref's hands.
Where's the back of the head? On the ear or just behind the ear?
Yeah, that's another thing. That's a good point. You're not allowed to hit in the back. Well, what's the definition of the back?
Hitting the arms, but he'll do it.
You're not allowed to hit in the arms.
I don't think you're supposed to target people's arms. Pretty sure that's
so weird. I've seen loads of guys go smash his arms to fuck.
Yeah.
And stop the guard.
It's a thing that people
you can't hold the guard up.
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Well, you're not allowed to push. But all the time you see push him off, push him off. You don't get one.
It's a fight. Listen,
yeah, of course it is.
Sometimes, listen, when you're a trainer, they'll say, right, listen, when you're in there, do that.
Yeah.
Don't get caught, but do it every fucking time.
Yeah.
You get someone lean down and you drop all your weight on top of them. That's not in the rule book. You're allowed to do that, is it?
Yeah.
If someone's got their head there and if someone's got their head in your arm, like in the headlock position, you pull your arm out like that, and you're technically choking them.
Yeah.
But that's not allowed, and it's easy to do.
Yeah.
When they're trying to breathe and you choke them for a second.
Your wrist on their throat.
But you look like you're not doing anything. You're just standing there with your hands.
You see that a lot. Yeah, you see that a lot where one guy goes in too
all
low.
things you're not supposed to do. But if I'm a coach, choke the fuck out of him. Choke the fuck out of him. Knee in when you throw a hook.
Yeah.
Stick the shoulder into fucking. You know.
It's a fight.
It's a fight, mate.
Yeah.
Ref's gonna have a go at you. So what? The damage is already done.
Yeah.
Whack him on the back of the head. He's dazed. Oh, have a little telling off for a minute. He's still fucking dazed.
Yeah.
That's just part of this sport. It's going to happen.
Yeah, grown men punching each other. At the end of the day, grown men trying to knock one another out. Sometimes, not all the time, but yeah, no.
Unless you're in the away corner, then you're just there to get your paycheck.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Jamani, you prick. You didn't listen.
Jamani, I want my money back. Cheeky Grant, I want my money back. I want a refund.
Isn't that crazy when you get beat off a journey? You paid the man to fuck you up.
I paid you to come all the way down here and beat the fuck out
in front of my friends.
In front of my friends and family.
Oh shit, it's crazy.
It's a good sport.
But no, I'd love Kay to get a rematch. She does. Do you know what it felt like? Do you know them occasions where boxer A boxes not above their level, but to their absolute maximum, and you think the other fighter in a rematch would do more? Do you know what I mean? Like Froch Groves.
So you think
the time
for will come back better?
Yes.
And then it wouldn't
the time for Groves to win was the first fight against Froch, because he battered him from pillar to post and still couldn't get the win. The rematch, Froch were making them same mistakes.
He's never going to lose, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of what I kind of see happening if Sam Amazing rematches. They won't come down to the lines then again. They won't come down here. I know the purse bid and all that shit, but it's just boxing is a business at the end of the day, and I don't think they need that again. They can go other avenues now because he's still the English champion. We've got a few questions coming, but before that, we'll touch on.
Are we going to talk about MTK last week?
No, not last week.
So not
last week's done. We don't do that shit. We only talk about the current weekend. There's too much boxing to go over last weekend stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So we'll just do Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence. Can you sum it up in 3 words? Can you sum it up?
You go.
Man was big. that should have been all you needed to know. For Mikey Garcia, he was too big.
Yeah.
The disparity in the weights.
Mikey needs to talk to Jamani and sort of things.
Errol Spence is one of the best pound for pound fighters in the entire world.
Yeah.
He is not allowing a man no matter how good he is, to come up weight classes and fuck with him. That's the, you know, and
listen, he just didn't give him a chance. He was too long, too cute,
too good,
too big,
too big, too good. I reckon he could go up a weight class quite comfortably, Spence.
I was thinking that last night.
When you saw them, and it looked like he was fighting his boy. It was a bit.
Yeah.
No,
how much weight is between these weight divisions? Because my point earlier, if they were both naturally the same weight, do you think the result would be different?
No, I don't. I think naturally the range. I believe there's a ceiling. I personally believe there's a ceiling.
You could fill Garcia out with a bit more muscle, but unless you actually change his physical height, arm length and everything, that result would always be the same.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And he couldn't hurt him when he got near him either.
I agree with
that.
He
landed some shots but never hurt him.
Yeah.
So
I want your opinion on this, because there's obviously there's two sides to every story. So there's two opinions on this fight. Do we praise Mikey Garcia for daring to be great, or do we say it was ridiculous and it was a money grab? Like, he ended up getting schooled, right? Is that fair to say, schooled?
That's not unfair to say. He did get.
And I'm a Mikey fan. Like, I love Mikey Garcia at his.
Listen, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Go up. Like I say, too many weight fucking divisions. Just show you the best, and then there's no doubt whatsoever of your talent. I think he did the right thing to go up. I do think he did, and why the fuck not? But didn't work out.
Now the problem I have is.
But then, what's the problem? He lost. Go down, dominate the other three divisions that you already.
Yeah. See, my problem is someone daring to be great, which is what we hear a lot. Is I respect it massively, especially if you're going up to fight a champion.
But
right?
if you should only lose to a shade, then you think, like, mate, it was a shade too far.
Yeah.
He didn't lose by a shade. Like, he lost.
And people are going, it's a career high payday of X amount. That's great. What about the possibility you've just taken 4 fights off your career by getting pummeled by Errol Spence Jr.?
How old is he?
30? 31?
At what weight division?
Who? Garcia?
What weight division would you call him?
Oh, fuck no. Lightweight. He's a lightweight. Essentially, a lightweight is his ceiling of achievements. Didn't he win something at super light? He was feather. Yeah, no. So he went feather, super feather. Had his 2.5 year break because of fucking contractual issues. Came back, won at lightweight and then super lightweight against Broner, I believe. I think that's correct. Something like that. And then went welter, and it's too big because Errol Spence is a man.
Broner reminded me. What do you think this fucking Maidana thing? Hold that thought, we'll go back to it, but...
I don't even know what he's talking about, so...
I've heard rumours and seen videos of fucking Maidana training.
I think he's just blowing off the cobwebs, man.
Yeah.
I don't think he's making a...
You don't think he's going to fight?
Nah.
I hope not. But
Nah, I don't want him to fight again, man. He was living life.
I love what he was doing, but if his skin, then...
Yeah, maybe he blew it.
I'd like to see him do it just for a couple of quid, just...
Yeah?
You know.
I like Maidana. He's in fun fights as well.
Yeah.
But,
Come on, finish Brandon Rios. He keeps coming back and he's getting dead in. Brandon, man, it's time to hang him up, son.
Yeah, for real.
Let Maidana come back and just fucking seal the deal for him. Because them two would kick the fuck out of each other.
That'd be fun. But can't you do it at cruiserweight? It's just middle, like, super
Rios
middle.
He's never in good shape, is he?
No, he's a bit...
He's never got abs or anything,
No.
is he? He's just...
Nothing wrong with that. I don't know. Maidana's a weird one. I don't know if he needs the money.
He was
I guess
that good. He was just.
He was very good.
No, he's not a good boxer.
No, he's a brawler. He didn't have to be a good boxer. He's a brawler. He can still brawl now.
Boxer, yeah.
He can brawl outside a Cuban cigar shop now.
He's good at swinging it out.
I love watching him, mate. And that Amir Khan fight in 2010 was one of the best fights you're likely to see.
I think that changed everyone's opinion of Amir Khan.
Yeah. Class fight.
For me, I love Maidana, and then after that, I didn't really like Amir Khan. Then when that happened, I was like, do you know what?
Respect him.
Fair play to Amir Khan, and then it changed Amir Khan for me. So that's one of them times where they took a fight, and going into it, I thought, oh, Maidana's going to ice him. I was wrong. Amir Khan made a fan out of me through that.
Yeah.
I didn't follow him massively, but after that, I had a newfound respect for him.
Yeah. No, Khan doesn't shout. He fights people, mate. That's the one thing you say about him. His resume doesn't lie. Whether he's win or lost, his resume or not, his resume chin or not, he's fought people, and you can't ask for more than that at the end of the day, can you? Final word on Garcia and Spence, right? Do you believe it can take fights off your career, getting pummeled for 12 rounds by someone bigger than you? So, daring to be great that we throw around.
But if he's trying to just achieve greatness, if he just wants to achieve greatness, and he's done 3 weight divisions, he's 30 already, you've reached the peak. What more possible can you do without going up weight divisions? It just so happened when he went up that weight division, that champion was so much better than the other three. Because bear in mind, every champion in every weight division, pound for pound, one of them's going to be better than the others.
Yeah.
Like, someone's got to be the best. Someone's got to be the best. So he's gone through what would be... They all might be legends, you know, they could be whatever they want to be, but they all might be 8 out of 10 world champions, and then all of a sudden he steps to that weight, the one at that level, that weight, is a fucking 11 out of 10.
Yeah.
But then if he went up the division next after that, maybe if he skipped the division, went to the next one, he might win that because the champion at that level
It's softer.
is softer.
Yeah.
So it could also be that. It could also, not too many weight divisions at once, just the level of the opponent at that weight.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like Ricky Burns has had some handy pickings when he's gone up weight divisions.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a very good point.
So, you know, you could...
Did you watch the David Benavidez fight, by the way? The fight before Spence and...
Nah.
That man is I think he's probably the best super middleweight in the world. He needs the world title back, man. He's been inactive. He's a weird shaped human being. He's like square, but he's got little boobies. But he is fucking relentless, mate. He's an animal, and he's going to be in some good fights. That he's still young. He's got that crazy Mexican shit about him. Yeah, I like David Benavidez. I think he's going to be in some good fights at super middle. But that's I think what we're going to do in the boxing. I'm going to stop it here, and we're going to get the questions out because I don't want to miss any. Yeah, so a couple of the questions that we had come in. Luke Clark, thank you, mate. Thoughts on the proposed Ultimate Boxer lineup, and that should be announced early this week. And also thoughts on it being backed by BT Sport. The Ultimate Boxer has lost some momentum, it's fair to say. They had the fighters putting out these little cryptic promo videos or pictures. Yeah, we went through it. And then I spoke to one of the fighters who's due to be in it. And
the announcers in the thing.
I'm not going to be the one to do it, but read between the lines. There's people that have put up pictures, big news coming soon, etc., etc. We've mentioned a couple of them in this podcast, and
there are some of them in there that are completely wasting their time.
Yeah, there are, but there's a couple of them now that because the event's been pushed back again and again.
They're about to take other fights.
They've took other stuff, and they're not going to be in it themselves now. So I genuinely.
Oh, it's changed.
Yeah.
Changed.
I genuinely, as of today, don't know the full lineup. Genuinely. Because and I haven't gone out my way to find out because I'm. You told me a month ago we're going to announce it, and then what happened? Nothing. I hear it's coming in this week, but the buzz has gone for me now. You know what I mean? Don't put out the pictures and that, and then wait a month to do anything about it. I genuinely don't know the lineup. If it is backed by BT Sport, better for them, more eyes on it. But they've got to get the calibre of fighter that are going to put bums on seats and that are going to be exciting to watch. Whether they can still do that at this delay, I don't know. It's not a bad concept. There's not as much money in it as people think there is because it's a 50 grand prize fund shared between all 8 fighters. So it sort of goes down the scale and the winner gets, is it 8 or... I can't remember exactly. 8 or maybe it's 16.
How many fights?
3.
Oh, my prize fighters get 32 grand.
32 grand, yeah.
Plus anything we knocked anyone out with.
Yeah.
You can walk away with that for...
And your sponsors...
You can walk away with that for 62 grand.
Because you're not paying a... No. What are you talking about, 62 grand?
You get 10 if you knock 10 grand if you knock someone out in prize fighter.
Did you?
Yeah, it was a 10 grand bonus, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It might have been 2, but I'm pretty sure it was 10.
Nah, sounds a lot, bro. It's not for a 32 grand prize fund, surely. I don't know.
Mate,
I might have to look into it, actually.
It was a long time ago. But...
Yeah, it was a long time ago. But either way, it was it paid boys well. You know, boys got paid off it and they put their names out. Yeah, of course it is. But it's a 50 grand pot between all the fighters. I don't know the ins and outs, exactly the money, to be honest, but it's not as much as a boy could get, for example, for selling out 200 tickets in his hometown.
No way. Less than that each.
I believe so. I'm led to believe.
Per fight.
Okay, no, because you.
So let's say you say to me, "All right, Rich, you can go in Ultimate Boxer, you get 3 grand." If you say per fight, so if you go out in the first round, 3 grand. That's yours. That's all you get.
I doubt it.
But if you get to the finals, you're going to get 9 grand because you've got 3 fights.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But then the winner should get something that the set that the runner.
They get the gold robe, don't they?
On the gold robe.
They get the gold robe.
That's nice. I like that. I like that.
Gold robe. Is that worthy of being the winner? Does that feel good?
It's a nice.
Can you get it from Amazon?
It's a nice thing, probably, but it won't mean the same, will it?
No, I'll get it inscribed myself.
Yeah.
Who's going to tell me I didn't win it?
Like, I've got an EBA belt, but I gave it to one of the bars because they were displaying loads of sports stuff in there.
Where? What bars?
Sports Lounge. It's closed down now.
Is it closed down?
Oh,
the Brentwood Sports Lounge.
It's reopening. Shout out.
It used to be your sponsor.
I'm going to shout them out now.
Go for it.
did used to be my sponsor, and he rang me up actually to invite me to the
grand opening.
No, they're doing a private one the day before.
Oh, can I come?
Oh, I'll ask him.
Do I want to come? Is it any good? I don't know. I just have a fear of missing out on stuff.
There's only one way to
I'm like, can I
find
come? What is it? What's it called? What are you looking for? The name?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called because he's changed it, hasn't he?
So the Brentwood Sports Lounge is now under new names, and you're searching for it in the middle of the podcast. This is what we've resorted to. Is that correct?
No, you should do what you're doing, but we'll get back.
So I should talk, and you just look at your phone. All right,
I'm gonna
thanks.
try and find it.
Feels like every single podcast, mate. To be honest with you.
This is what usually happens.
Yeah.
Don't know about me.
Oh, I'm a boxer. I don't know.
Don't shout me!
Fucking hell. I don't know the ins and outs. Truthfully, like, mate, I don't know what's happening. This is a question I want you involved on, right? This is a good question. Luke Clark. If small hall shows focused more on showcasing talent...
No.
No?
No.
You didn't even let me finish
I
it.
looked at the question earlier.
About selling tickets?
Straight away I thought no.
No?
People were not interested in... I'd sell 200...
Can I finish the question to people that haven't read? The question... Fucking hell, Rich.
No.
No. The actual question was... If small hall shows focused more on showcasing talent than who can sell the most tickets, would they get more heads through the door in terms of boxing fans rather than friends and family?
Oh, you want me to speak now?
Now I want you to speak.
I still can't find that thing. No. That's it. No, they wouldn't get more people through the door because...
There isn't the appetite for small hall boxing, is the truth.
Like... The people that would turn up to a great show with great talent on it would be me, you, and all the other guys that love boxing and just like watching good fights. Of the, let's just say, 250 people that used to come to my fights, 20, if you're lucky, will go to any other fight that I'm not involved in. Doesn't matter if you put whoever on that show from the small hall scene.
Yeah.
Does not matter to them. They don't give a shit. Small hall boxing, small hall boxing, they're going to see someone they know or just a load of strangers. Unless you've got someone famous on there, they're not going to make any difference to average Joe, if you like.
I 100% agree. There's not the appetite.
Like the people that...
There is not the market for small hall boxing.
Of them 20 people that I say would go to another show, which I wasn't on, it would probably be because they're from the same area as me and they're going to watch Davis or Mitch or someone else who lives in the area who's on that show. That's the only reason they're going to go to a show that I'm not on, because they're watching another local boy. They're not going there. Oh, there's a great show on at York Hall tonight. I'm telling my mates, it's going to be the bollocks, blah blah. Yeah, we'll go for a good night out and a piss up. That is their mind. Mm-hmm. They don't give a shit if Linus Udofia is fighting Taylor Jones followed by Darren Cordona followed by bare knuckle Brad Pauls. They don't give a shit if that's happening. Yeah. They care about if they know someone that's in there. That's it. I would sell more tickets fighting journeyman after journeyman consistently, with every other fight being journeyman and against fucking home fighter. I would sell more tickets to that every single time rather than saying, oh, let's just go to this show all night 50-50s. They wouldn't give a shit. They'd rather watch watch me beat up a journeyman and other strangers beat up journeyman than actually understand that there is 50-50s all night for 30
Do you reckon?
100%.
Really?
100%.
I don't know if I'd go that far with it.
100%.
Yeah, I've never been a casual fan to buy it off a mate, though, to be honest.
My mum has been to boxing to watch two people in her life. Me and Davis.
Yeah. Yeah. I get, yeah.
Yeah, it's your mum, it's different, alright. There's
No, there are people like that, 100% there are. But I just think if you could...
My mate Dave Levy, my mate Dave, he loves boxing. He will not travel to York Hall just to watch a really good night of boxing.
No. Rather sit at home and watch on the box or something.
Yes, 100%.
Alright.
They're only really coming to watch us, not even because we're any good, just because they're supporting us. Yeah. That's the only reason. If they could support us sitting on their ass at home, clicking a button, they would. Yeah. If that was an option. Yeah. If it was an option, because a lot of them know the game, do you know what I mean? Especially the ones that know a bit about boxing, they're supporting you. They're coming because they're your mate and they know it's your living and they're going to make... A lot of my mates will buy tickets and not fucking come, just because they're supporting. Mm-hmm. Imagine they could pay 30 quid, I'm not saying everything should be paid with you, support their mate, sit on their arse at home and watch it. They would rather do that if they could. Yeah. People want it easy and they do not want to pay for something when they don't know.
And the truth is, travel, drinks, booze, food, shit ain't cheap. Booze and food, did I say? Travel, food, booze, food. Did I say?
You said booze, food, and drink.
Well, yeah, drink, even soft drinks. You know, like, it ain't cheap nowadays, mate. Is that rain?
Mate, it's a bit of everything.
That's alright. Yeah, no, it ain't cheap to leave the house nowadays. Honestly, you're going into London, mate. It ain't cheap. Like, that's the truth of it. So I get your point. 2 questions left, right? Let's rattle through these so you can go out for dinner for your birthday. Did I mention it was your birthday?
My birthday.
Happy
birthday to me.
Oh, what's the arms about? I don't know what these arms are going. Stop it right now. 2 questions. Right, this one's a good question, but all right. Thoughts on James Helder returning to interviewing, but not to IFL TV? Any ideas what's gone on there? Why Coogan and Helder, who set up together, no longer work together? In the earlier days, I thought the better quality of interviewing came from Helder. Cheers.
Shout out Block 40.
Wait.
Opening Friday the 29th of March.
Block 40, yeah?
Block 40.
Instead of the sports lounge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get on there. Listen, Friday the 29th of March. I don't care. Get on it.
Where is it? Brentwood?
Brentwood High Street.
Okay.
Block 40. Brentwood, opening Friday the 29th of March.
Are you still on the pay fucking... Are you still getting paid for these boys, is it? Yeah? A little... Alright. That question is from UK Boxing Fan 6, alright? Okay, let's move on now.
Loyalty.
Shout out the old
not like
Block
some
40.
people that leave and go and do articles for other companies.
Craig Scott, man, leave him
I'm
alone.
going to Scotland, by the way.
Scott, when are you going to Scotland?
April sometime, I think.
Yeah. Can we talk about that off pod? I've got questions to rattle through and I need to get out of here.
Not about my holiday to Scotland.
Yeah, I don't care. Okay? UK Boxing Fan 6, that was from...
Block 40.
Don't annoy me. I'm going to fucking lay you out.
Gary will rip your face off.
Thoughts on Helder returning to interviewing, but not at IFL TV is the question, basically. He's now interviewing retired...
Sounds like a statement.
Yeah, what?
He's
returned to interview... No, he's not returned to boxing.
What was the question?
You're a prick, aren't you?
Sounded like a statement, not a question.
Thoughts on Helder returning to interviewing, but not to IFL? Any idea what happened with him and Coogan? I used to like his more than Coogan's. He's interviewing now retired professional footballers, James Helder, on a small YouTube channel. I guess he loves interviewing. There was all this mental talk that he was in jail. Do you remember this? All over Twitter. Helder's in jail. Helder's in jail. I personally don't know James Helder, so I don't know. What I do have a theory on, I'm happy to share. If you read between the lines and you're intelligent about it, and you work out that Helder stepped away just before MTK and IFL's more prominent link-up. Do you understand my point? It's fair to say, it's fair to guess, or to read between the lines and have a theory that Helder was... It was in his best interest for some reason that he didn't want to be involved in it at this stage, or... For them to have more control, MTK, they needed one of the people to take a pay and leave. That would make sense from their point of view. And if you think about it, you don't want this man with the name and the reputation for starting IFL to go and interview other boxers, do you? Because he's then a rival. So that essentially is my opinion and my guess on why he's now interviewing ex-boxers. He loves interviewing. Ex-footballers. He loves interviewing. It's all he knows. He stepped away for a little while. Maybe there was a period that he had to agree to not interview anyone. Who knows? He must love interviewing, enjoy it. He wants to start something new based around football and his name and reputation. My guess would be that Coogan and MTK are now sole partners, and there wasn't really space for a third wheel in there for whatever reason. And James could have been fed up with it all and wanted a break and didn't want to interview boxers. He's had a long break from interviewing boxers. Could have been fed up. They were doing it a long time. Them boys grafted, like Coogan and James grafted. You know what I mean? From absolutely nothing for 7-8 years. Maybe he didn't want to be doing what Coogan's doing. Philadelphia on a Friday, Brentwood on a Saturday. Do you know what I mean? Do you get my point? And it's entirely possible that he didn't want to be part of that. It's also entirely possible that he just didn't fucking want to do it anymore. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
You just said.
No, but without getting this payoff that I'm saying. Not payoff. My opinion is MTK bought him out. Not payoff, because it was him and Coogan's. My opinion is...
Just buy that brand off you.
Yeah. Do you want to sell your half of the company? Business, innit? It happens every day in fucking business. So that would be my opinion. That would be what I would guess happened. I might be wrong. But any thoughts on it? No.
No thoughts on it.
No thoughts.
I don't. He disappeared. Like you say, he disappeared for whatever reason, which I have no idea what it was. And maybe for whatever reason, whether he disappeared because of whatever reason, he thought, well, I'm not playing catch up with that. I'm not going to bother going back to the boxing. I'll start a new thing.
Yeah.
Elsewhere. He wouldn't want to play catch up. Do you know what I mean?
And then it'd always be compared as well.
He knows how hard it is. He knows how long it is. He's done a lot of work to then have gone to do whatever he's been doing, and then he thought, do you know what? I know what I can do. This.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And a very, very.
Well, maybe he's still taking money from it, but he's not part of it anymore.
There is that possibility.
I'll tell you what I'll do.
I'll be a silent.
I'm just going to throw any number. Let's say you put £1,000 into our bank a month, whatever number, and I say, tell you what, you do absolutely everything, Goodwin. Just give me £200. You can have the other 8, but I'm still going to want something. Let's say, all right, 80% to 20%. So if you're making £1 million a month, I'm going to get 200 grand of it. I'll get my 20%. Like I will say nothing, no input. You say what you want, do whatever you want with it. I'll just take this percentage and I'll shut the fuck up. And then on the side, he's thought one day, I could actually start another brand. Okay, I'm making money off that. That's how business works as well.
Yeah.
And then, do you know what? I'll build this one up and I'll sell that off to someone else and I'll take a small percentage of that.
Yeah.
You can have all that. And I'm getting 20% of that, 20% of that. I'll start another one, 20% of that. And then he does this, puts his arms up. Fucking
Charlie Big Potatoes.
Charlie fucking Big Potatoes, getting all the fucking.
I don't imagine he walked away from somebody built from scratch. Is my thinking. Do you know what I mean?
Was he muscled out?
I don't know. I don't know the relationship. Cougar and James look like they get on. They talk on Instagram. Like you see them publicly comment on this shit. Obviously, social media is social media. What they text to each other is a completely separate issue. But they look like they get along. But then who knows? I don't know them like that. I was never privy to their fucking private conversations. Why would I be? But that would be my opinion. And the final question from man like Rob Cass. What is the update on the possible New Age and Fight Talk live show?
He's coming about now.
It's the most exciting boxing news so far this year.
I feel like this has been spiraling a little bit now. It was just a bit of talk at first, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. We're throwing shit about with Terry, weren't we? I was on the phone to Terry and he was like, let's fucking do one together.
He mentioned it to me.
He mentioned it to you, and Martin didn't know anything about it at that point.
How did this get this far?
So Martin and I spoke last night. Obviously, we sat ringside for most of the night.
Yeah.
And we said, look, is it a possibility? And he said, see, the thing with that fucker Terry is, he's very good at ideas and then don't do no fucking groundwork. I said, I know a cunt like that. He's called Richie Gray. I know this boy. I've got one of them myself, mate. So I took a selfie with Martin. I said that the link up coming soon, and just for a little bit of bants. But I think it'd be a good idea.
But you've got no fans.
I've got no fans. I've got no fans. The truth is, and this is the God's honest truth, the tattoo shop didn't go down as well as I hoped it would. There weren't enough people turned up.
I don't think there was a lack of people.
Bad timing, maybe. Christmas, couple of days, Sunday. I don't know. Christmas Eve.
There was about 8 of us in the tattoo studio getting tattooed at the same time. While there was another 5 or 6 at the front eating cakes and talking shit. Like that was enough for what it was. It wasn't a live performance like that. Like
it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure to do a live show.
No, I just think you're being a pussy and you're putting your fucking. Poking your dick in, like
what? Wait a goddamn minute, what?
I'll show you a picture of Lou Smith and you'll know what I'm saying.
Okay, alright.
Lou, sorry mate.
I don't think tickets will fly the way that we'd have to have them do to rent a fucking a theatre or whatever kind of venue. Listen,
you had your debut, it was tougher than you thought, and I think now you don't know if it's live events are for you.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
But that would be... I went to the first New Age live show, and it was very good.
Ours wasn't a live show.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about their show.
The point is that you're worried off the back of we didn't make an event.
I'm not worried.
You was worried going into that because I was saying, should we do this, should we do that? And you, even at the time, setting it up, you was like, I don't want to put too much into it because we haven't structured it very much.
Yeah.
And I just think...
It's difficult getting the correct structure.
You're being a bit of a pussy. You need to go balls deep. Like, right, this is what we're doing. This is how many fucking tickets we're going to sell. Watch me fucking sell them. And then go out and graft.
You're very aggressive.
Yeah, but you're all like, oh, okay, we'll do a bit of a live event. We'll get a couple of people, you know. Hopefully someone will turn up. No, listen, I'm fighting next year. There's going to be at least 200 of my people there. You're all going to fucking come. It's going to be the best event there's ever been in history. Ever.
and then you fight a journeyman, and everyone goes, ah.
250 people turned up though.
Yeah, you got
So
paid.
watch me get beat, but they turned
But
up.
we're not getting paid out of this. What are we getting out of doing a live show? What would be the pros and cons of a live show?
Entertainment. You don't get paid for this anyway.
And we get paid. I get paid in your time and your love. And look at the way you look at me. I can
You
see.
get paid for love and respect out of all of us lot, but
I know.
you
No.
can't expect to get paid out of a live show when you don't get paid for your
I'm
content.
not saying getting paid. I'm joking.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Like where?
Mate, this seat is rock hard. My arse is fucked, bro. What is this?
You like it?
No, I don't. I think it could work. We're going to sit down. We're going to have an actual conversation and work out if it's a viable option. I think it'd be good to do because we need to be accountable for the things we say on here. Do you know what I mean? People need to be able to say to us face to face, "You said this and you said that." After.
Some little boxer has been weighed in by a big boxer going, Rich, you said a little one, you did that.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, mate.
I didn't mean it.
I didn't mean it. Not to your
I
face.
was brave to the dictaphone.
It's easy when you're not here.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know if we're on their level, man. They've got fucking lawsuits. They've got people hunting them down. Terry says some shit. Terry says some things, and there's already been feedback that could be perceived as very negative. We haven't actually had to be accountable yet, apart from to Joey Pyle, who really called us out and wanted to fight us all. That was good stuff.
No, I was going to comment on something he did earlier.
Yeah, just leave him alone.
I will leave him alone. Everyone else does. All the audiences that go to boxing shows leave him alone as well. Oh, I'm only joking.
I think we need to sit down and work it out with the new age boys. That we all know that they are who they are, and they are what. Like I said, I love them. You look at their numbers and you look at how well and how often they are and how regular and how good they are at what they do. They are the boys that not only I get on with them all. Terry and Martin are good friends of mine. I love them both. But it'd be good to do something together. Definitely. We just got to work it out if it's a realistic option. If we think it can be done. If we can sell 100 tickets to people to come and watch us talk shit. I mean, you used to sell people tickets to watch you fight and fuck
that
me.
was a load of shit.
Yeah. So no, I think it's a viable option. We just got to work out where, when, how, how much, all that game. You know what I mean? So no, I'll look into it with the boys. I'll sit and talk to them about it, and we'll see what we can do. You know what I mean?
Back to that comment I made about pushing your dick in. I have a picture of Lou tucked his dick
between his legs on your stag.
Yeah. I mean like that.
Are you going to put it on Twitter?
I don't know. I can't find the picture, and I'd have to ask Lou because that's not really fair.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
But I'm sure as everyone's imagination can
Lou Smith.
carry them through. Shout out Lou Smith.
Shout out Lou
There was
Smith.
no questions this week, Lou. What's happening?
He's going to wake up in an hour and send me 7. Watch.
Shout out Gary, always listens to this, not Gary the dog.
Gary Wilkie.
Gary Wilkie always listens.
Love Gary.
He complains at me every now and then
Gary's
because I
a
don't send him
gentleman.
the link.
That's it. We'll send it to him today. Final thing, please, people, everyone that listens, first of all, thank you for your time. If you're listening this deep in, don't know how far it is, maybe an hour and 10, hour and 20, something
I
like
feel like this has been a good podcast because I actually watched boxing, so it wasn't just you talking about boxing and me going, no, I didn't watch that. That was shit anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that. No, he's good.
Yeah.
No, that would be a good fight. It would be a good fight if you watched it, Rich, and you could comment on it.
Yeah.
Like, this has been...
No, agreed.
It's been better that I've actually watched boxing.
Yeah, thanks Paul Ty for pointing out that Richie should be watching boxing.
Shout out, Paul. You gave me homework.
You did.
And then Sam checked in on me.
I did.
Watching boxing this weekend, Rich. I went, who's boxing? I'm not your mother. I'm not going to tell you. Blah, blah, blah,
Put
blah.
some work in.
All right. Jesus.
We need some feedback about the little live, because I said to you yesterday.
Give us feedback on everything. Not just
Yeah,
that,
please.
but
Yeah, please feedback. Good things that work, things that
For
don't.
this to be better, be good.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I should watch more boxing. I'm working on it.
That was one we've done. We've worked on.
But there are areas where you guys can be like, right, listen, we don't. You bring this kind of stuff up. Don't like it.
Yeah.
Just tell us.
Maybe they're sick of hearing Cheeky Grant punch their head in. It's entirely possible.
I might create an account. Stop talking about Cheeky
One of them
Grant.
faceless Twitter faces, yeah? The egg told me. Do you remember when it was eggs on Twitter, not faceless ones?
No.
No, before you put a profile picture, it used to be an egg. Now it's just a faceless.
I might create a fake account and do that.
Yeah. But no, honestly, I would like some feedback on. I'm thinking of adding little bits from because when we go to small hall shows, people just have our word for it, But obviously, I had the dictaphone with me. I can talk to boys, get little 5-minute clips here and there. Me and Jamani were in the car, so I thought, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway. But whether it works or not, we don't know. We'll put it all together. So yeah, please, everybody, thanks for listening and give us some feedback, man. Let us know what's good, what ain't so good, and we'll take it on board and see what we can do. If we don't like it, then well, fuck yeah, because we're the cunt of the podcast. But you get the point.
We'll do what we want anyway.
Huh?
And we'll do what we want anyway. And I've got a big dog, so you can't even come get me. Come at me, cheeky G. What?
Come
what
at
are you
me.
saying, bro?
Come at me, Joey Pyle.
What are you saying?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
It's time for you to go for dinner.
Shout out to my sponsors, Advance.
You're not a boxer anymore. What's going on? You're not a boxer anymore. Let's get out. That's how we finish, right? It's been the Fight Talk podcast. Oi, next week we might have a very good guest. Someone who's making waves on the scene.
Very good guest. He's making waves and things.
Yeah, making waves. So hopefully next week we'll be back with a good guest, and yeah, let's get more regular with it.
10 points for whoever can guess who it is.
10 points. If you can guess who it is,
you get 10 points.
you get 10 points. Is there a point?
10 house points.
10 house points. Right, this has been the Fight Talk podcast. Happy birthday, Richard. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks.